Hey there friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sohum and I'm on a mission to spread peace, love, and positivity through music. Today we're going to be reacting to some more Deep Purple featuring Tommy Bolin as the guitarist instead of Richie Blackmore, which is not something that I'm entirely used to quite yet. We've only recently been listening to a few more of Tommy Bolin's performances with Deep Purple, so I'm excited to check out more today. We've got two songs to do just that. The first one is called This Time Around / Ode to G, which Ode is not spelled O-D-E, it's actually spelled O-W-E-D, so a bit of like a double entendre there, very clever. And then we're going to be hearing a Bolin and Paice, Ian Paice, jam track. So I hope you guys are excited to check this out, but before we do jump in, a massive thank you to Graham the Radiant, whose generous support made this reaction possible. As always, Graham, thank you so much. Alright, now let's just jump in. And as per the, as per the title, this is an instrumental track, but this time around is the part that's not instrumental. This bass line. Bassline, heavy, melodic vocals. Wow, do you hear the lows, the mids, and the highs? This is like a completely full mix, and the highs right here are very, very subtle. Try to see if you can hear it along with me. It's like a flute almost. It's hovering in my right headphone. That bubbly bass. I'm loving this so far. This all uniquely feels like a massive preamble or super extended intro into what possibly could be a massive chorus. That's sort of the feeling I'm getting. It's almost like there's been a storm brewing and we are right on its cusp. It's about to hit. As I look around, you can't be found. To lose ya, I'd rather see the endless time of space go passing by this time around. I love how massive the vocals are getting. It almost uniquely reminds me of Steve Perry of Journey. Is that a weird comparison here? To lose you, it fading out? So now this is O to G. Whoa. Oh, dual guitar. Dual. How are we getting dual guitar here? I guess it's just multiple layers of Tommy. And what an interval right there. And they just stripped it all the way back after the storm of guitar notes. Oof. That is such an interesting track, and to like paste together a song with lyrics and then another song that's fully instrumental, it almost feels like it shouldn't work, but I mean, it's Deep Purple, so everything they do works as you wouldn't expect, or it might maybe as you would. For me, I'm still in that phase of my Deep Purple journey where I expect greatness, but I don't know what form that greatness is going to take. Because even a song like this, it feels like there's so much flirting happening between like the genre of rock, blues rock, even some progressive rock in there. There's this dance from moment to moment where I don't know what genre we're inhabiting, but I know that there's that iconic Deep Purple sound. Interestingly here, there was less of an emphasis on the actual organ itself. It felt like we were just hearing more of a grand piano playing, especially in the first half of this track. So when you accompany that with the really beautiful vocal melodies and the heavy guitars that were to come, you have this really nice contrast. It almost feels like when you bite into like a macaroon or something, because you have that nice fluffy exterior and inside is all the juices, but you have to take the external bite to get to the goodness that is inside. Bet you never thought I could bring up macaroons in a Deep Purple reaction, but that's just the way my brain works. Let's check out the second one today, shall we? This one is called the Bolin and Paice Jam, which is apparently a bonus track on the 35th anniversary edition album. So yeah, we're in for it. Let's jump in. Just drums, just guitar. That's all we'll need. Oh. He's wasting no time. I need to take the titles of some of these songs more seriously, because even though it is like a song, it's more of a jam than it is a song so far. I don't know if we're going to have a definitive structure. It just feels like if we had a video of what Bolin and Paice were doing at the time of recording, they're just probably looking at each other, egging each other on, building the performance, handing it off to one another, and then you're just left with this virtuosic mastery muddled with chaos. That's kind of the way I want to say it. So far, it's primarily focused on Bolin, though. Love how Bolin is dancing around the rhythm here. I'm also very curious if we're going to get any consistency in the melodies that Bolin decides to play. Because so far it has just been like 2 minutes of soloing, which is cool. what is happening to the rhythm in this section here? Still somehow 4/4. What does one say after hearing that? Just insane work from Tommy Bolin. I mean, he's obviously so talented, and just getting to like hear more of his playing, I'm starting to, I think, paint a bit of a picture of his in my mind for what his style is, especially as it relates to Richie Blackmore, because I've definitely heard a lot more from Richie than I have from Tommy. And given that they both were guitarists for Deep Purple, it feels fitting, even though you don't like to compare things, it feels fitting that I do compare, just so that you guys have an understanding of where my head's at. It feels like with Tommy, again, I think I mentioned this in a previous Tommy Bolin reaction, but it feels like with Tommy, he opts for a very chaotic style of guitar playing. When he lands into certain patterns and grooves, he'll repeat them and build them up and almost like amplify them as if he's adding more distortion and creating his own positive feedback loop. So the sound gets bigger and crazier and almost distends and falls apart and, you know, screams from the top of the Grand Canyon. I think that also dovetails well with his like more rhythmic style of soloing, and not like rhythm guitar, not that kind of rhythmic playing, but more so when he finds a unique rhythmic pattern for any phrase he wants to play within a solo, he hammers the pattern hard, and maybe he switches between patterns rapidly. But the reason I bring that up is because there is a, I think, noticeable difference in him doing that versus when Richie does that. I feel like Richie's guitar playing overall is far more melodic, and normally I wouldn't say far more, but in my opinion, Richie's guitar playing is far more melodic than Tommy's. So in terms of just craziness of what the electric guitar can offer, I think Tommy is great for just pushing the guitar to its limits. But in terms of songwriting, and even in the setting of a jam with Ian Paice, I can just sort of envision the counterfactual of Richie and Paice together, and I just feel like that would be more melodically pleasing to my ears. That's my expectation, but I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on, you know, Tommy Bolin, on the jam, just on this reaction in general. Again, I'm going to echo the sentiment. I love Tommy's playing. It really dovetails well with like a chaotic style of guitar playing, and more more rhythmic focused, which I think is why this works so well with just the drums. But in the context of the bigger band, it almost feels like Tommy is doing too much and making his guitar too pronounced in certain moments, where a more subtle touch or just some more melody would suffice. But let me know what you all think in the comments down below. That's it for me today. I will catch you in the next reaction. Hey friends, I hope you all enjoyed the reaction today, and if you'd like me to react to one of your favorite songs, you can hit the link in the description box down below. It is the best way to support my channel. But in any case, your support, your kindness, your comments, your likes, they mean the world to me, and I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And as always, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and peace.